The vocabulary is to preserve, stays the same and it doesn't change. Orientation is the arrangement of the points relative to one another after a transformation has occurred. Okay. Um, and here we go. Um, so for the first one, okay, um, up here, I will get used to this before the end of the year, I promise. There we go. Okay. Describe what happened from A, B, C, D to A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. A, B, C, and D shifted 6 units to the right and 4 units down. To create A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. It says list the coordinates of A, B, C, D, and A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. So A, B, C, and D are -4, 7, -3, 4, -5, 0, -8, 3. So let's list A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. And they are 2, 3, 3, 0, 1, -4, and -2, -1. All right. Then we have what happened to the coordinates from A, B, C, D to A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. 6 is added. To the x coordinate. And 4 is subtracted from the y coordinate. Number 4, this is what properties were preserved from A, B, C, D to A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. Is the orientation, shape, side length, and angle measure. So the name of the transformation is a translation. Six right, 4 down. Now notice the same that we used for the reflection. We have translation here, which is a T of AB, X and Y. So you add A to X and B to Y. Next, here it says to translate the quadrilateral ABCD, 3 units to the left and 4 units down. And then write the motion rule for that translation. So you can actually count that, which is what we'll do here. So for each of these points, we'll take it and go 3 units to the left, 1, 2, 3, and 4 units down, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is our A prime. Our B prime is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. C is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And D is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Always make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you use your ruler when you connect these. Also make sure that you label everything. Our motion rule here is x minus 3 because you're going to the left, and y minus 4 because you were going down, or t negative 3 comma negative 4 x comma y. Oh, let me move that up. That's our motion rule. Sorry. Let me have you look at that. That is our motion rule, x minus 3 comma y minus 4, or t negative 3 comma negative 4 in parentheses x comma y. Okay. Next is our vectors. I will be handing to you, or I have handed to you, a piece of transparency, which is what we'll be using, as well as your pencil to use these transparencies. So when you use these transparencies, this is what you will be doing. You can perform translations using an image in the plane and a vector. A vector is a segment in the plane. One of its 2 endpoints is designated as a starting point, while the other is simply called the endpoint. The length of a vector is the length of the segment, distance to translate. The arrow denotes the direction of the translation. Here, vector AB is on the left, and the vector BA is on the right. So for example, translate the plane. There we go. It says translate the plane containing figure B, down here. Use your transparency to sketch the image of figure B by this translation. Mark points on figure B and label the image of figure B accordingly. So here are the steps. We're going to create the points on the figure, okay? So we're going to create these points here. Okay, these are the points we're looking at here. All right, these are the points that we're looking at. It says measure the vector. So we're going to measure from here to here, okay? And we can measure that either way. We can measure that here, and I can see that it is 5/8, I believe, inches. So this here is 5/8 inches. We're going to trace the shape. Okay. Now I'm going to measure the distance and mark a new point. Okay, and actually I'm going to measure this as well. Because what we're going to do is we're going to slide the shape along that vector and mark the points of the image. So here's how we do that. And I know it's going to seem a little bit hard at first, but you will find that it's not that bad. Okay, because what we're going to do here is we're going to slide this image along that point here. Okay, just like this. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to move this transparency, and underneath, okay, we are going to, if I can find my fingers here, we are going to put a new point right there, because that is where our arrow is. And we can make sure that we also measure that 5/8 of an inch, because that's where it's going. Okay, so you're going to measure that 5/8 of an inch. Okay, once we measure that 5/8 of an inch, okay, as it says here, measure the distance and mark your new point. So we're going to measure that 5/8 of an inch. Okay, we're going to measure that 5/8 of an inch here. Okay, so we're going to measure that right there. Okay, we're going to measure that right there. Okay, always measure it again. Make sure that you've got it right. Okay, make sure that you've got it right. And I do. Okay, so we're going to draw that line. For some reason, my fingers just really don't want to work right for me today. Sorry, guys. So we've drawn our vector, drawn our new line. Okay. We're going to slide our shape along that vector and mark the points of our image. Okay. So we're going to draw our shape. We're going to go ahead and slide it. Now we're going to put our points. Now this isn't going to be perfect, guys. I'm telling you, it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to put our points in. So our point is right here, and then our other points, as I lift up the paper here, are going to be right here and right here. Okay, make sure that they're there. No, they're a little bit off, so I'm going to fix them just a tad here. Make sure that my slide is right. Make sure I'm right on here. So I'm going to fix this. Just slightly off. I'm going to reset it. I'm going to re-put this here. Sometimes you are going to be a little bit off and may have to do it once or twice. There we go. And put it right here, right here. Oh, there we go, much better. Okay, and then you're just going to draw. Okay, and as I said, not going to be perfect, but my line's going to be here. Line's going to be here. Okay, and then you're just going to draw it. There you go. And this is figure B. And I have go ahead and translated off of the figure. Again, it's not going to be perfect, guys. We're not perfect. We're not artists, but that's okay. All right. And that is going to be the end of the lesson. Okay.